Okay. All right. I'll turn it over to the president.
Awesome. All right, first up on the agenda, we have some completed review of previous action items. Kevin was able to get Salifu a Give Basic Needs email.
Yep. So he's all set. So if Ben or Salam, you need to message Salifu with an email, you can just use Salifu at Give Basic Needs. So that's good.
I just emailed him the contract a little bit ago, so he'll be looking that over. And then in the coming days, we'll wait to hear from him and stuff.
Yeah, if he is willing to sign the contract, then we'll go ahead and get him set up in Smiley, and he'll be in the auditor role. So he'll have access to everything, but won't be able to change anything in Smiley. And then that's where he'll obviously sign the contracts as you guys do as well. And so that's exciting for sure. You guys were able to see the dialogue in the with him in the grant section of Discord. Did you guys have any questions or concerns about that?
Yes, I personally followed the dialogue, and yeah, I think it's all good except that uh, for Salifu's concerns with full time, which I think was resolved. He actually called me, and I told him that he should um, accept, and let's start and see how it goes. Because he was very concerned about his workload and time.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm sorry, Shalom.
he
I'm sorry, Shalom. When was it that you talked to him?
Oh, I think I spoke to him before his last response to your email, to your message.
Okay, okay.
He actually called me,
I didn't know the order
and
of things.
and we just even finished talking before I joined this meeting. I think that's why I was a bit late.
Okay. And so
Yeah,
I'm sorry, then continue, please.
yeah. So just the same concerns he raised about uh, the work hours and working full time, which
Mm-hmm.
he's not really. He actually have reservations with because of the kind of job he does, and he also do a lot of freelancing jobs, and his understanding of independent contractor was mean that he's able to work at any he should deliver tax independently at his own time and not necessarily be tied to a number of hours in a week.
Sure.
But I think our conversation with him, because I told him that yes, you wouldn't have issues going with the commission base, but just like you said, you are following the standards. And he was also of the opinion that someone like him is better engaged on output basis because he has never done NGO grants before.
Mm-hmm.
So he has done corporate grants. He has worked on some loan facilities, but he has never done NGO grants. Yeah, so I think, like you said, let's see how it goes. Then he he also said that uh, he wanted he was asking me if we have someone, an accountant, to prepare our books for the auditors to satisfy them. And I told him, you are the CFO, and I don't know if you prepare the books or maybe uh, the auditors also have a team because he was also proposing that his personal company is an accounting firm. They can also come in and prepare the books for us, but that will be at a fee. then
Yeah, so
yeah.
we,
So
so we we have a CPA on staff that does all of our filing. So I should be able to give everybody everything that they need. I don't think we need anyone to keep or prepare our books.
that's okay.
Yeah, so, but
That's
we could
okay.
keep
So I
that
think
as an option. I'm sorry, the room that I'm in has a really bad echo, so it's hard for me to hear. I apologize if I'm seeming less engaged or having a hard time hearing.
no problem.
Well, hopefully, I just sent him the email and, let him know if he has questions or reservations or anything like that. So I appreciate you talking to him, obviously, but hopefully he'll bring the concerns and stuff to us. And that way we can, put his mind at ease or, definitely make sure everybody's comfortable and excited for the position.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing that so we obviously have the best practices that we need to align ourselves with when it comes to grant writing, and that was discussed in not only from our attorney but also in the post that the president made in Discord. And so I think that while there is hesitation, um, and it's not a performance-based percentage of the work, I feel confident in his ability to write grants for us and also guide us through the process of establishing the grant writing processes within our own organization. And so I think that as we grow, we have to realize that um, if you base and this we can't do performance based, but I want to justify why I personally don't want to do performance based is personally if you look at the research, performance based results don't typically produce the same results. They typically produce lesser results. So people who are paid on a commission tend to produce less sales, for example, than those who are not. While it seems counterintuitive, the individual who is based strictly on commission works to close the deal, but doesn't work to sell as many or be a part of the team as much. And so is what Salifu's position is for me personally, what I'm hoping to get out of it is, yes, it'd be great to get, you know, an infinite amount of money. But I think what's more important for me personally is that he's the right person to take advice from as to how to set up our internal processes within our organization for submitting grants in the country of Ghana. And so I believe that he has those abilities and that knowledge, and also importantly, he has the time. That was the factor that I was concerned about. So while we put the position out there as a full-time 40-hour-a-week job, he's committed to saying that he's willing to make it a priority, which is really all I was expecting. And I think the president as well, because we know personally that both of you work very hard when it's time to work. We know that. We recognize that. We appreciate you. But we also recognize that there are times in a week that you might work 30 hours a week or 25 hours a week. That is real work, tangible work. And so we're not immune or immature or naive to think that those things don't happen. Those happen in our world as well. There are weeks that we work 80-hour weeks, and there are weeks that we work 20-hour weeks. And that depends on where we are in the life cycle of a project or the life cycle of an initiative or the life cycle of the organization. So we're not naive to think that we're not going to get value. We know we're going to get value. And for me, it's more important to bring someone on who's passionate about our mission and about our strategic vision and has knowledge in the grant writing area and is someone that we can trust to guide us while providing a reasonable number of hours between 40 and 45 on average to the organization, because all of the hours that Salifu works are hours that I didn't work, are hours that the president didn't work, hours that Benny didn't work, hours that Salam didn't work. And the only way to grow this organization is to work more hours. And that's not possible for any of us, because while we might have only worked 20 hours that week on tangible things, we thought about the organization, and that downtime is needed to refresh and reset so that we can grow smart, and that we're not just about turning over grant opportunities and trying to get the optimized money. That's not the way we've worked ever, and that's not the way we ever will work. So I think that while performance-based grant writing may be desirable for other organizations, that doesn't fit our organizational culture. We look for people who, like Salifu, can contribute quality hours as well as give guidance, as well as complete the tasks at hand. So I think that, we can't do it personally. I mean, for compliance reasons, as the lawyer and best practices have said, but I wanted to share my justification for what I see Salifu's role in and what I see other individuals' commitment levels needed as we grow the organization, both in Ghana and outside of Ghana. So hopefully that gave some light into what it was I was thinking, and that this isn't clearly a dollars for dollars position. This is a strategic leadership position. And I personally think, and the president personally thinks, and the rest of the board personally thinks, that he brings skills that we don't have. He brings value in a lot of ways, and it's not based on the number or the amount of grants that he gets. I know he's going to be successful. That I can sense that part of judgment that I personally have. What level of success, I don't know exactly, but I'm willing to try for a while. So I want to get Salam's thoughts on that, on what I just said, and make sure that we're on the same page. And then I'm going to ask Benny to comment as well.
I think just to add, with that, Kevin and I had discussions as far as like, okay, are we comfortable with him going 2 months without getting anything, 6 months without getting anything, a year possibly? And because this area is so new for us, and it's new for him too, not having written grants for NGOs, then we decided like, that's okay. We are comfortable with paying him this amount if, even if it takes a little bit for him to get going, to get familiar with grants. And so that's important for you guys to know, but I'm eager to hear feedback from you, both of you, definitely.
Yeah, and I think one more comment I want to follow up with Abbie before you respond is that again, remember, every hour that he works is an hour that we didn't. And he's going to be on these meetings, and he's going to have action items just like you do. And so we're going to be moving the ball forward. It may not result in dollars right away to the organization, and we're okay with that for the simple reason that those hours couldn't have been worked by anyone else on this call, nor the board members, and he has the skills to guide the discussion and move forward. And there'll be plenty of action items. I mean, we try to keep both of your plates full with work to do, but and we're not naive to know that you have 20-hour weeks, right? So we can just take that as a fact. We also know that there are weeks that you travel for the organization and you have more than 40-hour weeks. But we're basically investing in you as an individual, not only in your performance. So you should know that. Salam, do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, I think that all what you've said is okay. one of the questions he asked me was that he don't determine the number of grants that is available for him to write. So, for instance, if in a year maybe there are 2, 3 grants available, 4, 5 grants available, and he has written them, and either we win or we don't win, because when you are applying for grants, there are other organizations also applying anyway. So it's always going to be a competition. And his concern was that in that case, he wouldn't want it to look like he's being paid for he's being paid and not doing anything. But I think that just like you said, there are other responsibilities and tasks he will be doing. So basically, I think it's just we are just hiring one more staff who would also have other things to do, just like every other person. So I think it's okay.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think the recognition that I hope that you feel this way, Salam, and I hope that you feel this way, Benny, is that when I do payroll and I send you that invoice, that's not just for blog posts. That's not just for holding an event. That's not just for any one thing. That's clearly an investment in you participating in this organization. So it's far more than a blog post, social media, an ad, anything. We need all those things done, and we all agree on those things. But I'm investing in Ben as a future leader of this organization, just like I'm investing in Salam as a future leader of this organization who has critical thinking skills and isn't so busy that they can't take a minute to think about things and act in a responsible, logical way. So I hope that both of you feel that these positions are not just exchanges. They're not commerce. They're investments. And I think that's maybe what Salifu is. Maybe it's different to him, or maybe the position we portrayed the position as it was a transactional thing, but it's really an investment in Salifu, just like it is an investment in both of you.
How about you, Ben? What's your feedback?
Yeah, so I think it's good having someone on board, and just as CFO said, we were all concerned about how the delivery would be because I remember from the meeting too, he mentioned that he has done a lot of grants for businesses in Agric and others. So um, I was just concerned so that we don't over expect so that he starts and we are not able to get the results that we are expecting. It will be a bit disappointing to not only the board but even to me personally, who is a who has been a part of the organization for some time now. We all want success for the organization, and we want to see that whatever we have planned to do actually come to light.
Mm-hmm.
But from the way the conversation was going, I really understood that we could give it a try. And just as you've explained, it is not just about the exchange for the immediate value that he would give us in exchange, but how his presence in the organization can help grow us in the future, even if it is not just winning grants immediately for us, but his advices, bringing in his technical knowledge in that subject area as well can be very helpful. Yeah. So initially, I had concerns, just like probably Salam might have had concerns because we were looking at what we are going to get, the value we are going to have
Mm-hmm.
as a result of he coming in to join us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we are all hoping that 2026 it's actually going to be a big year for us. So with the clarity that has now been given, I think it's fine. Yes.
I want to comment on Benny's before Salam redirects or answers. Is Benny, I really appreciate you um, looking beyond your current position as a leader in this organization to come up with that comment that you just made regarding your expectations and the fact that you didn't want to be disappointed. I think that speaks volumes to your leadership and your commitment to the organization, which, trust me, we all recognize and appreciate. So thank you for that.
Right, sure.
Salam, do you have any more, or would you like to comment or on my thoughts or how you're feeling about this?
No, I don't have anything more to say.
Okay, great. I mean, I think the thing too is that we can revise, nothing is set in stone. Everything can be revised. Every contract can be rewritten. Everybody can do as they wish, right? We're all independent people trying to work for the greater good. And so we've sent this now to Salifu, as you did. And so we'll see what he says, and we'll go from there. And if it doesn't work out, we'll change. That's why we're the organization that we are, is we can recognize change when change is needed, and we're willing to act on it. So great, very good discussion. I'm glad that we had it, and I appreciate both of you being committed to the organization and looking out for the organization, because just like I said to Benny, Salam, I appreciate you not only bringing this candidate to us, Salifu, but also your concern about the deliverables and your concern about the budget and your concern about productivity. Those are all leadership qualities that we're hoping to hire into with Salifu as well. We want more people like that. The more people we put on the team that are like that that have that mindset, the more successful we'll be. It won't be about turning over grants or doing projects or blog posts. It's really about building an organization that can grow and grow in a way that that is successful. It's very easy to grow an organization. The problem is keeping it together. And so keeping it together. What's that? Exactly. Because too often organizations see an opportunity, they try to grow, they put people on, and they put the wrong people on. And so we're trying to preempt that and saying, you know what, he might not be the best grant writer, but he's got the passion, he's got the commitment to the organization, and we believe in him. I'm glad that both of you do, and we'll see where it goes. Maybe this won't be his role in 6 months. Maybe he'll have a different role in the organization that we can't see. But I can't let people like him walk away from the organization, just like I wouldn't want Benny or Salam to walk away from this organization, because it would hurt the overall organization without a doubt. Great, we can continue. Thank you for that healthy discussion. And please, as you have concerns, always breathing them forward. It's your responsibility, just like you're taking ownership and looking after the budget and productivity and the culture of the environment that we all work in. It's also your responsibility to bring concerns forward. So when you do, we appreciate that. And please always feel free to reach out to myself or the president with any of these types of concerns you have going forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
All right.
Yeah.
Bank account, the auditor's reference letter.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have any.
Yeah, so we could talk about the bank account with Salam. I just want to clarify this because I want to let you guys know I've been working really hard on the finances and the portfolio, managing our resources and trying to build our resources internally. So I've been working really hard on that, and I haven't been following the dialogue as closely as I should have, maybe with regards to the bank account, and that's just the time limit. That's why we need more people, is because I'm getting overwhelmed, and if any one of us begins to get overwhelmed, they need to make it known so that we can continue to bring on people and grow in a smart way. So in getting overwhelmed, I wasn't able to follow along with the letter that Salam sent. If I understand it right, I'll try and repeat it, and Salam, you correct me. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so because what I understand is let me try to understand what I understand. So we have decided that through Salifu's advice that we should go with an audit firm in Ghana that is a mid-level auditing company, and we should have a retainer for them, which will cost $500 to get that retainer. Once we have that retainer from them, the bank will open the account as we've designated them as our auditor. There's another $500 that's needed for Salam to successfully travel to Accra and execute these transactions with the bank. And this is where this is the decision point that we're at, because the board members are not present in Ghana today. Is that correct, Salam?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so in thinking about it and talking with the president, Salam made an excellent recommendation, and I think that it was well received, in that maybe we should just wait until April to do all of this paperwork, organizational things with regards to the board members being present and not having so much communication and difficulty around doing these things if we were there. And it's hard. We want to be there right now, but it's a time of the year that we can't be there. And so April is honestly the soonest we can probably be there because of doctor's appointments and things like this, personal needs. And so I think with Salam's recommendation and questioning of whether we should even be doing this right now, I thought brought to light a very good point, in that I thought we were doing it, and please correct me if I'm wrong, either one of you. The reason that we were doing this is so that we could write grants and receive funds into our Ghana bank account. And that was the only reason we were pushing to open the bank account, as we have our own goal of beginning the grant writing process in 2026, preferably in January. And so with that, I'm thinking that, first of all, did I get all that right, Salam?
Yes.
Okay, good. Hey, I'm doing all right. Thanks. So with that, I think that this is the approach that I talked with the president about this morning, was that if we are going to hire a senior grant writer or an analyst or a lead, if you will, a critical component of our organization, and that potentially being Salifu, if that is that we should wait with all of this bank account stuff until someone who is in that role of senior grant writer, analyst, gives us the go ahead that it's time to have the bank account. Because it's possible that that position is filled with Salifu or someone else, we don't know yet. It's possible that that position is filled, and we have things that we have to set up in our financial systems to track grant dollars. We have reports that need to be created. We have compliance things that need to change within our processes. We may have a lot of different things that have to happen, including actually choosing grants. I mean, first of all, the big things are not only those things might need to change in our organization, but we also have to identify opportunities. So that would be the senior grant writer's position, to do that, as well as identify a junior level person who would be the grant coordinator and help with that hiring. So that needs to be done. Then we need to think about the application process. The board, along with the president's help, needs to decide which of the grants that have been presented we're actually going to apply for. And then once that is done, we will have an application to create. And then there'll be a time to submit it. and a time that we'll either decide if we're awarded or not the grant. And it's only after we accept the grant, which is after the fact that we've been awarded it, that we would have a deposit into a bank account. So my recommendation to the Presidio this morning was, let's do exactly what Salam said. Put all of this on hold until the senior grant writer, whomever that is, hopefully it's Salifu, says we need to prioritize the bank account. And then at that point, we'll decide if it's before April and we travel there, how we proceed, if it involves travel with Salam to Accra or whatever, or if we can wait until April. Well, that's what I proposed to the Presidio, and the Presidio agreed that that was probably a logical progression of the task that we have around opening a bank account. We know the bank account. Salam, you've made contacts at the bank. You've got everything lined up. It's just a matter of when to do it. And I think that at this point, I'd like to open it up to Salam, not only to correct me if I've misspoken, but to give his input on this type of decision, to wait for the senior grant writer to tell us how soon we need that decision.
Salam, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's a good decision for now. Like you said, even if there is a grant that we would apply, let's say from January, we can be looking at grants with deadlines maybe around March or deadlines around April, so that we know that after the deadline, the organization we are applying to would also now sit down and try to vet the grants, go through a process. So awarding would go beyond April. By then, you might have come and would have set up everything. So, as part of my conversation with Salifu this evening, was that I was just asking him how soon we can start, and he said that, oh, as soon as he's able to sign the contract. And then I brought up the bank account issue, and he said for now he can begin to look for grants and to write grants. And when you can, we'll set the bank account. What is actually needed right now? Maybe when he joined, or maybe on Discord, we can discuss that. What is actually needed right now, as he said, was the preparation of our accounts, our books, and getting the books satisfied by the
I'm sorry, Salam. I think you cut out a little bit, or I didn't hear the last part about he agreed that, we needed to write grants and the account might not be a priority. And then I lost track. I apologize. It's cutting in and out right now. I'm not sure why. I can do that. Yeah. No, sorry, Salam, we can't hear you.
Benny, are you having trouble too?
Sorry, Benny. Can you hear us? Is it us?
Yeah, I can.
You're cutting in and out too.
You're cutting in and out as well. I apologize. I'm on a network that I can't control.
Okay.
But my network here seem okay. I don't know what the problem is.
Okay, yeah, my network is good now. I can hear you clear.
Okay.
Salam, can you hear us now?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the problem was on our side. Apologies.
possibly.
Okay, no problem. So I was saying that, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So I was saying that he actually said that we can start to write grants because usually when grants are advertised and after the deadline, they will now start to consider and vet those who have applied, which also takes some time. So by the time maybe payment, should we win a grant or should we qualify? By the time payment will be made, you would have come and the accounts would have been set up and all that. So he said what will be needed immediately is the audited accounts. And that is when we had the conversation about getting someone to prepare the accounts and all that, and now getting the auditors to satisfy.
Okay.
And he was suggesting that the audit firm, yeah, so this was an addition he said. He said the audit firm has a team that if you actually want the audit firm, their team can actually come in to prepare our books. Then the auditors will satisfy the books.
Okay. Okay, so Salam, I want to just repeat that so that if I heard it right, apologize again. We have a bit of an echo. That's on our side. So we're gonna obviously talk with Salifu if and when he accepts the position. But you were saying that when you talked with him, he felt that if I heard you right, he said that the bank account was less important than working with the audit firms to actually get the audit done before he submits grants, essentially, grant applications.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so now this is good. So this is an action item that, Salam, can you explain to us what the audit? So we have the audit company in Ghana. We just need a quote from them on how much it will be for them to perform the audit that Salifu is requesting that's needed for the grant application process. Do you have that information, Salam, or is that something we need to wait for Salifu in the coming days to discuss?
Yeah, so he was telling me that there are two ways. I mean, he have experience with the auditors, and what they've been doing is that usually, um, for some organizations, they would say the audit firm should come in, prepare their accounts, and satisfy them. And so that comes with a different fee from when the audit firm is, from when the organization itself has prepared their accounts and the audit firm is just coming in to audit and satisfy. So he said that for the audit and satisfy, so for instance, assuming we have prepared our accounts and they are just coming in to audit and satisfy, um, he said it takes between 1,500 to 2,000 a year. But for the team to come in, for the audit firm themselves to prepare their accounts and satisfy, that comes with a higher fee that he couldn't tell me. He said that one too, unless. But now that we have appointed those auditors, so he said this should be an official engagement. So If we want them to come in and just audit and satisfy, we write to the audit firm. They will write an engagement letter, include all the codes and the specifications, what they are going to do, the management letters, whatever. Then we accept, and then they now commence work.
Okay. So to me, is what I hear, Salam, is that Salifu, as the reason that we're considering him for the position and we're offered him a position now, is that he has the knowledge and is trying to guide us as to what things are important, whether it's the bank account or the audit. And he's pointed out that the audit is most important right now. And so he has additional information about how the audits can be done. And then is what I would like to do with the president's approval is to give the offer letter a week to see if Salifu accepts the offer and is on board, in hopes that he does accept the offer and comes on full time with the organization to be our senior grant writer. Then I would rely on him to draft the audit that he wants from of our books for submitting grant applications. So just like we said, we would let him guide the overall process for grant writing, we would allow him to dictate, the audits would be his responsibility as well, not necessarily preparing them, but making sure that he got what he needed. So is what I'd like to do is defer this decision about the auditors and requesting a certain audit type until hopefully he accepts the position and comes on board. Does that sound right to you, Abbie?
Yeah, that's right.
And Salam, how do you feel about that? Just giving it a week, thinking a little bit more about it, and seeing if we can get Salifu on board to give us the guidance we need.
Yeah, I think I agree to that as well. I think he was just briefing me how these things work, and also
Yeah.
he equally didn't have the absolute figures at hand.
Mm-hmm.
So, the absolute figures at hand. When I asked how much he think it will cost for a year to get an audit done, he gave a range. He couldn't actually give an absolute figure, and also uh, the books and etc. So I think that when he comes on board, um, he can guide us to actually go through this thing. He has the experience with these auditors. It's our first time, and probably you also have that experience in the US. So he can guide us to how to draft the engagement letter,
Yeah.
what to expect in the acceptance letter, and the kind of request to make. So if we are requesting, just like you said, that the audit is done. The audit is done. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Yeah. According to the International Financial Reporting Standards, we get management letters. We are able to. I'm sure we can even negotiate to get. I think now that they are our auditors, I'm just thinking if maybe going forward with his relationship with them, because he knows the firm much better,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be able to get things like this reference letters, either at free or maybe at a lesser cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so I'm sure when he's on board, he would be able to leverage his relationship with them very well for us
Uh-huh.
than for now. If he's going to be giving us any guidance, it will be officially what the firm accepts. But
Mm-hmm.
since he has working relationship with them, if he's on board with us, he'll be able to leverage that relationship to say, I've been doing work with you guys for all this while, and this is an infant organization.
Mm-hmm. I think you're muted right now. Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah, you just cut out at the very end, but we heard everything that you said.
Yes, yes. So I think when he's on board, he will better advise on some of these things.
Yeah, I think that's great, and I think this is the reason. I wish Benny was back. I'm not sure what happened. Um, but this is the reason that we want to. This is the reason I want to pay him a monthly rate instead of just for the grants that he does, because I want him to give us guidance on auditing and the firms that he's worked with and work those relationships, et cetera, just as you pointed out, Salam. So I think this is in direct alignment with the decisions that we've made in making him an offer, as well as taking some time, waiting for him to get on board and allowing him to advise us in his professional manner.
Yeah, that's okay.
Great, great. Yeah, so Benny, Salam just finished. I apologize if you dropped off. I don't know why, but he just finished saying that essentially he agreed that Salifu would be the one to be able to guide us with the auditors as he's worked with them. And I pointed out that these are the types of relationships and investments in individuals that we're wanting to make as an organization, and why we think that there's more than just a transactional means to working with Salifu, but an actual investment in the future with him. So, yeah. So, Benny, do you have any thoughts on the plan of attack, if you will, for grant writing and anything more on Salifu, waiting for him to get on board to guide us through the grant writing process, identification process, but also the bank account and the audit?
Yeah, not much. So I think it's actually a good idea we seek his opinion on what should come first,
Mm-hmm.
so that we'll know where to place our priorities,
Mm-hmm.
since he has knowledge and all those things. So yeah, I think when we kickstart with him, I'm sure a lot of things would reveal themselves, and then we would know which paths to choose rightly. Yeah.
Yeah, great. And I want both of, I'm sorry, I had one other thing.
Okay.
I had one comment, two pieces. I'd like both of you to remember that we do have two other positions that we're going to be hiring for. One is the grant coordinator, which is a junior level role that will be mentored by Salifu or the senior grant writer and myself. And the other position is a ERP Next bookkeeper. And so I think that try to help me remember that as we chart our course with Salifu, as he may have resources, whether they're within his realm of contacts or within the auditor's realm of contacts, to help us with the bookkeeping and the person potentially for the grant writing coordinator junior position. I know that we had talked, Salam, you had some ideas for individuals, but know that those applications or those job opportunities are open, and they should submit the information that they're being requested on the job opening to the president's email, Abbie at Give Basic Needs. So I want to make sure that we keep that in mind, those two positions in mind, as we work with Salifu, because we want to leverage his network. I see everyone on this team having a network of contacts that are incredibly valuable to the organization being successful, and we need to leverage those. And so we should definitely leverage Salam's people, Benny's people, Salifu's people, the Presidue's people, my people, to fill these roles with trusted individuals that we can count on, that share our same vision and mission. So I just wanted to throw that out there to let you know that those job openings are out there and open for anybody that you have that wants to submit an application form.
Okay. Thank you for that. I just was trying to look at the time and keep an update, because I know Salam has to go.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Audit firm, we talked about that. Financial model. Kevin's to outline the strict separation of funds for 2026, grant funds for direct project costs versus operational funds for labor and execution.
Yeah, so I have not drawn that picture yet. I did share a little bit of the funding image that I had done previously about the execution, but I am actively working about how to track grant funds. One thing that's going to become more important as we move towards grants, and I'll expect everyone here to keep me on track, but also provide recommendations on it, is we'll be using budgets for projects more heavily than we have in the past, and we'll be using something new that's called a cost center. So we will be assigning purchase invoices to cost centers, and those cost centers will be tied specifically to grants so that we can have better budget reporting against our actual expenses for a specific grant. And so I'm looking at that. I have not worked on that, but that's how I've, in my mind, in my free time, in my mind, how I've decided that we'll handle it within ERP Next. So those two components within ERP Next, and they're not difficult to understand. It's just things that we haven't done before. So as we do projects, again, we'll focus more on budgets up front during the approval process, and we'll be focusing more on cost centers for purchase invoices to make sure that those dollars are counted against the specific grants.
Okay.
Yep.
Ben or Salam, do you have feedback? Yeah, Salam.
Yeah, I think it's good. The bookkeeper position, I have a number of people in my head. Maybe I'm sure Ben also have some, and I think that we should get in hiring that position. We should get someone full time that would be in the office, and also the junior grant coordinator. There is a guy I am currently, I think, working on some grant proposal with for one of the agri companies. I'm doing the write up, and he's assisting with the financial model. He's also a colleague of Salifu in their company, Salifu's company. I would see he's a very committed guy because I've been working with him for the past 2 months. We've been going back and forth, and I see the enthusiasm in him. So yeah, that one too, I can probably give some recommendation maybe after engaging him a few times, just like I engaged Salifu before recommending him.
Yeah, and I think that the thing to keep in mind is that the bookkeeping position, the individual needs to know ERP Next, period.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
a tool that they need to know how to use, because right now the president and I have identified that bookkeeping is a component that the C-suite should not be doing, and it's bogging us down and burning us out. And so this is a position that we plan on filling in some type of capacity. I don't know if the bookkeeper is a full-time position or a part-time position, but they need to know ERP Next, and so they need to understand it well. And so with that, we're hopeful that we can find somebody. Regarding the modeling and how we're going to track the grants within ERP Next, those are decisions that are done with my CTO hat on, and my CFO. So we'll be using those components within ERP Next. It's just a matter of thinking through how we're going to, for example, what naming conventions we're going to use around the grants. so that we can easily identify them, just like we do with, we use a naming convention for projects. We have some things to work through, and I plan on working through with those with the senior grant writer to help identify those so that they get what they need to report, as well as initially they will be responsible for not only finding the grants and applying for the grants, but also reporting on the grants until we get the grant coordinator position, which is a full-time position, filled.
That's okay. Um, so the last thing I want to say with this onboarding is that uh, we also need a program assistant, like you said. I've been mentoring personally my sister, who is a nurse, and then Simon as well on the media side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I had extensive conversation with Simon over the week
Great.
regarding him taking off some roles from Ben. For instance, the uh, uh, capturing of pictures and videos on field, um, helping with video editing, which I know he also does pretty well. And we've had those conversations. So I want to bring him on board, and also to bring Zuira as well on board, so that we'll begin to go to field with them and have them perform some of these taxes, and with our guidance, because myself and Ben would always be on field. Then we get to see how they improve. We get to see their output, and hopefully maybe somewhere along the year we can onboard them fully, because when grants start to come, we are going to need able hands to help in adequate or proper execution, to say.
Yes. Yeah, that's great, and I'm glad that you guys are working on that together to identify those individuals that you're mentoring, and this sounds like a plan that we should definitely implement at the next giving events and future giving events, as you say, until we're able to onboard them and they're able to execute their own events.
It'd be great too for us to see them and to meet them in April when they come.
Yeah, in April we'll be seeing their execution skills when we're there at the projects that we're talking about. Be introduced to them, etc. And if these individuals are interested in joining the organization, just as any individuals that are interested in joining the organization, they should not only be communicating with you guys, but they should be in Discord so that they can follow the discussion and optionally participate in either this meeting or the Sunday meeting, or at least being aware that the meetings are recorded and that they can listen to them at their convenience, so that they can begin to come up to speed with the organization and our processes. But I think that that's great that you've identified those. I don't know that I would, it's more likely, in my opinion, that we would put Salam and Benny on the grant projects, at least initially, as they are a bit more rigid, as we'll see based on the grant applications and what needs to be captured. Salifu will lead that effort. So it would most likely, the way that I see it right now is that Salam and Benny would be working with Salifu on the ground when a grant project giving event takes place, making sure all the grant requirements are captured, etc. And then we would see Salam, your sister, I apologize, I didn't get her name.
Zuira.
Zuya?
Yeah.
Okay, so Zuya and Simone would be doing existing internal projects for Give Basic Needs initially on their own, so that we don't throw them at the grant stuff, but we put our A team, which are both of you, on the grant stuff, and we put them on the more routine, oops, we messed up, it's okay, projects, uh, and that they can learn and continue to be mentored as they run their first projects and capture images and video from that. Those are things that's just my first thought, is that we would probably, you know, put them on the individual giving events that we're going to do and fund, and put both of you on the grants until we get everybody comfortable working on their own, and then we can see who does what going forward. And maybe that's a split where Salam, you work with Simone for a while, and Benny, you work with Zulia for a while, in that cross training on projects, so that you can give guidance, Benny, to Zulia, and Salam, you can give guidance to Simone. Does that sound like a reasonable approach?
Yeah, yeah.
And Benny, you think that's reasonable as well?
Yeah, I think it's good. They've had interest and they've been following with what we are doing. So
Great.
I think it's good if we have them come in to actually have a feel of what we are doing,
Mm-hmm.
give them a chance to push on to some projects to see. So I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I agree too, because again, these individuals, we're not looking for, commerce type exchanges. These are investments in these individuals that we hope will be with the organization for a lifetime. I mean, I know that's not realistic because life happens, but that should be our goal, is to only bring on people that we want to see in the organization from 25 years from now. That's the kind of people we want to interact with. And so I think it's great that you guys are identifying individuals, and that's great. So I think we will obviously hear from the senior grant writer, hopefully we Salifu. And one question I had for both of you is, so you guys kind of are the Ghana leads, obviously. I mean, you're our A team. You've been with us the longest. You know the most about the organization, et cetera, et cetera. But do you want to see, and this is just for feedback for the president to decide, I want her to have this knowledge, is do you see this meeting, this Ghana team meeting, growing with individuals like Simone and Salifu and Zulia? Or do you think that those individuals would be better served providing statuses and reports in the weekly meetings with the board members, et cetera? How do you feel about which of the two meetings should new individuals participate in most? I don't say it's not uncommon, it would be uncommon for them to show up in the Sunday meeting, but on a regular basis, there should be one meeting that they always have to attend, and then the rest is on request. Now, Salifu is a little bit different because he's a coordinator guidance type position, but so he's going to be in the Sunday meetings as well to give summaries and discuss things there. But where do you think these individuals should end up in our meeting schedule for communication? Salam?
I think so. The Friday meeting is for the Ghana team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think the Sunday meeting would do best where uh, we have all the directors on board. They can get to interact with all of them,
Mm-hmm.
and so that get conversant with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing I was discussing with Ben is that as much as we are doing these things on ground from Ghana, and we are thinking of a succession plan, if that's the best phrase to use.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yes.
the same thing applies to the director's level as well.
Mm-hmm.
So in the event that maybe you and the president is not available,
Yeah.
just like maybe you went on a vacation or on break or something. I think it happened along the year this year.
Yeah.
We should have the team or the people we are bringing on board, Salifu and Co, uh, being conversant, maybe meeting with the vice president or meeting with the secretary or the other directors without you. So I think the Sunday meeting, we can make the Sunday meeting. I don't know if using the word compulsory makes it, but we can make the Sunday meeting that in a way that everybody should be in that meeting.
Uh-huh.
Then the Friday meeting, of course, when necessary, Salifu should be able to make time for that. I know how Accra is usually. In the evening when you close from work and you are heading home, a lot of traffic, you may not be able to be part of. I know the Friday meeting, Salifu may have difficulties with that, keeping up with that every day. But like you said, the Sunday meeting, he should always be in that one, where he can give direction to all the directors as to where we are, the next step we are taking with regards to the grants and etc.
Yeah.
And as well. So for the Friday, we can maintain it when need be, and they can join. Fair enough. But myself and Ben, I think, should always be here. Just like we said, we can Jojo in here and get certain clarifications and take it to the board on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's good. And
So that's my opinion.
yeah, that's great. And I think one thing that we can keep in mind is that the only meeting that is set in stone is Sunday. This Friday meeting could move to a different day of the week if the three of us or five of us or whoever will participate wanted to change it to a Tuesday or at a different time. That's totally fine. It's just that Sunday meeting that requires the board members. That one is the one that has to be set in stone because there's just too many people to try and line up schedules with. So we've kind of committed to the Sunday meeting, but this Friday meeting could move to another day if that works better for Salifu or a different time, or if it works better for Simone. If we all agree, it doesn't matter to us. So just wanted to share that.
You know, and two, if we end up hiring somebody in the US for the bookkeeping or whatever and stuff, then, you know, we'll accommodate them.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll need to accommodate whoever we bring on board. But one thing I wanted, before I hear from Ben on the meetings, one thing I don't think we should have is an individual grant meeting. Because I think it's critical that Salam and Ben are both engaged because of also their leadership roles, also engaged to cover for the succession planning, if you will. Succession planning and make sure that you're on board and know the status of everything regarding the grants. It's best that we all stay in the same meeting and talk about the grants that are on the ground in both meetings, in the Friday meeting and then the summary, the details in the Friday meeting with someone like Salifu, and the summary for the board in the Sunday meeting. So go ahead, Benny. What are your thoughts on the meetings going forward?
Yeah, so I think it's actually necessary they begin to familiarize ourselves with how operations are done, not only on grounds, but formally, how we conduct our meetings, how our discussions go on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so personally, I was thinking the Friday meetings would be okay since it's just a Ghanaian meeting.
Mm-hmm.
They could just join to get to know
Yeah.
what we are about and the plans we have.
Mm-hmm.
But as Salam has also mentioned, sometimes it's necessary for them to also get to know other board members. If they are joining the Friday meetings, then it will just be the presido and yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. But with the Sunday meetings, they would have the chance to get to know the other board members that are there. But so one thing we can do is, unlike the Sunday meeting, we actually do in-depth discussions on the Fridays more.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so if that was why I was thinking that since it's going to be a learning opportunity for them, they get to know that. But we can still let them um have access to the meetings. They can go through them to hear whatever we that has been discussed, or if they are having any clarifications they want, they can go through them just as a way of also getting to learn more about the processes that happen. Yes. So because since they are also just starting, I don't know how their schedules will be to be able to um partake in both meetings. So if there's the chance for them to just go for one, then we could let them join the Sunday's meeting. But as they're on Discord, we let them know that anytime we are done with the Friday meetings, they are available for them to
Mm-hmm.
have a preview of what was discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great. A good point, Benny. And that, like I said, is that we end up with a situation where, just so you know, and everybody knows that these are public meetings. If they wanted to join next Friday, they totally could, whomever it is, whether they're going to be a part of the organization or not. So we welcome transparency at all levels, and I think that it's good that we do talk in depth more on these Friday meetings about what's taking place in Ghana, and then we have the board members and they participate in those, as you said, because it's important. If you take my analogy of this is an investment in an individual, not a contractor who comes and goes after an exchange. But if you look at this as an investment in an individual to be a member of the organization, that makes more sense as well, that they know everything about it, that they want to know. And if they're willing to sit in on specific meetings, great. But they should also know the board members, because that's where it's not a transactional thing. It's a personal thing. You're now looking out for the organization in the way that I look out for the organization. And if something isn't right, you're going to speak up about it if I don't speak up about it. So this bringing individuals on board and how we do this, we're learning all of this as we go, and that it's critical that we realize it's an investment in the individual, whether it's Simone or, I'm going to have a hard time with her name, I apologize. Zulia. If it's Zulia or Simone, then they need to have the same vested interest and the same ownership that both of you have, that Abbie, the president, and I have, and that Daniel, Elena, and Luke have. So, thank you. So,
Zuera. Okay.
Zuera, am I saying it right now?
Yeah, Zuera.
Zuera.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Zuera. Okay,
Thank you for that.
thank you for that, Manny, because yeah, sometimes I have a
But
problem with.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised the president mentioned it right.
Very good, very good. Well, this is proof that we all help each other and we're all in the same, trying to move in the same direction with the organization. And so, yeah, I think this has been a great meeting. I personally don't have anything more. I know we've run over.
Yeah.
Um,
So just a couple quick things. Let's see. Looking at the schedule for 2026, just kind of finalizing that schedule, Salam, and we're looking at the preventative health clinic in January, a borehole in February or March, and then those three events in the second quarter when we'll be there. And let's see, compliance, digital presence, media coverage payment. Salam, just wanted to confirm the payment status for the news story covering the recent medical event we had.
Yeah. So that was actually my last budget on on the uh, the media.
okay.
Yes, and we were left with about 2,700 cedis. So I didn't want Peace FM online to carry the news again. because they had published I think our first story for us also. So and the other news portals are charging us huge. So my guy with multimedia is telling me, because Peace FM has carried our news before, and he also have some good relationship with Peace FM. If I wanted, Peace FM could do that, could carry the news at that budget for me. But if I'm not okay with that too, I should give him up to end of this week to see which media house he'll be able to convince for them to carry the news. So I think that is why it has not gone out yet. I think I shared a screenshot of his response with Ben. So hopefully this weekend it should go out on one of the media houses. But if by tomorrow morning, because I just drove to lecture, or maybe when I leave here, I will call him to see uh, what the conclusion is, so that, because I know Saturdays news in Ghana, Saturdays, because people stay home, they pay attention to news items. So if he has not gotten any other alternative media house, then we'll just go with the Peace FM tomorrow and let them publish the story.
Okay, great. And my comment to Ben on that is that, does Peace FM as holding another news source affect our, how does it positively affect our Wikipedia post, or should we go with someone else?
Um, so personally, I would have, it would have been good we go with another credible media house.
Okay.
Yes, since we already have Peace FM as publishing one of our stories.
Okay.
So the other two stories that I've actually sampled for us to use, they are published by, one is Peace FM, the other is Star FM Online, which is very good because the news isn't coming from the same um the variation, it's good. So I don't know how it goes, but I think it would have been best we have another media house do the publishing.
So even if it's a smaller media house, it's still better than going with one that we've already done that might be bigger. Is that correct?
So when we talk about smaller too, so maybe I'll I'll speak with Salam.
Yeah.
Whichever one they are agreeing to, I can check to see how big that media house is,
Yeah.
and if we think we can still proceed with that. Yes,
Okay.
because Wikipedia also have a
So
list of,
Ben,
yeah.
I think modern Ghana.
Modern Ghana is good.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think I am thinking modern Ghana might do with our budget for us, or yen. Uh,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
Modern Ghana
So I'll look at
is
a number
good.
of them alternative media houses that are not as big as the Star and all of that, that can do the
Oh,
budget, and then we'll see.
okay. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so
so I think the Star FM, the Peace FM, the
Yeah.
three.com, the Ghana Web. These are actually the leading media houses in Ghana. So
Yes.
usually when you are working with them, they give you very huge budgets.
Yes.
But
Yeah. So
the modern Ghana I'm mentioning, I think if we were to rank, modern Ghana and Co will also come as the second rank.
yeah. So even with Modern Ghana, it just so happened that within Ghana here, people do not value it that much. But when you check the number of traffic they get in Modern Ghana is quite good.
mhm.
Yes, just that because of the monopoly, there are some of the media houses that are carrying Ghana. People are just talking about them, but there are others that are actually doing well. And when we want to talk about Wikipedia, I'm sure Modern Ghana will be a good one for us to use. Yeah.
Okay,
So yes, so Salah, if you are speaking with them, if Modern Ghana is willing to, I think we can go with that.
that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think just so that we get the Wikipedia reference, and it's best for you, Benny, when you write that document. That's the part that we funded as far as the media houses go, and that's the critical part. So it sounds like you two are working on it, and Salam, you'll go with whoever Benny recommends based on the Wikipedia. It sounds like maybe Modern Ghana. Whatever you guys decide is fine with us, as long as the Wikipedia page priority is achieved. So that's great.
Yeah, excellent.
All right, sure.
A few more couple things. Kevin will continue to provide updates on the map and the plugin, working on that data.
Yeah, so I'll give a really quick one. So on the map, Benny, I think you've resolved all of the issues now that I asked about, or not yet. I apologize. I've been busy, like I said.
Yes, so the only issue remaining is the category, which I'm still trying to figure.
Fine.
Smiley. Yes, I'm sure we'll figure it out. I've gone through the map data, just as you said, it's not from the map. So I'm now looking at the individual projects to see which category that I can have it
Okay.
fixed.
Okay, because
Yeah.
one place that I would go to look at that, if I had a minute right now, would be to look at the actual query in ERP Next and see where that column comes from in that map report.
Okay.
Because in the query, it will say like category and it'll tell you the table name. So like if it's project.category, it will show in there. I can look at it, or you keep looking. If you can't find it, you tell me and I'll try.
Okay, I'll keep looking. Sure.
Okay, and then
But if I can, yeah.
Salam on that. Before I can do the map export, I have to have all of the sales invoices for all the projects that you've worked completed in Smiley. Is that something that you can do relatively quickly? Because once you get that done, we clean up a little bit more data with Benny, and then I can update the map on our website, which will be a great thing if we can do it by the end of the year.
Yes. So I was just going through the invoices I wanted to attach. So the sales invoices are just for the projects that we've had some form of donations,
Yeah.
if I'm right.
Yeah. So,
And then also, yeah, so also the invoices, sorry, the receipts I'm attaching to the purchase invoice. So for instance, if you take project project 75, for instance,
yeah.
there were some expenditure items that we didn't get invoices for. For instance, the food
Hmm.
for volunteers, um, uh, logistics like for carrying the supplies to the office and all of those things. So that I actually wanted to find out how I can
Yeah.
go about that, or
It's
I should just create an. Should I create a personalized invoice for those items, or how do I capture them?
Yeah, this is a great question, and this is why we're going to bring Salifu on because he will know what the auditors are expecting.
Yeah. So with that, I think when you posted on Discord that I should attach the receipts and invoices, he actually called and asked me if I could run those by him
Mhm.
so that he could do the entries. And but I told him that we have a software which is Smiley, that all of that
Yeah.
was done on it. So just like you said, not to cut you, but maybe when he come in, he will see how we can actually deal with those things.
Yeah, I think so. For those, so I heard two questions or comments. I'll address the second one initially. Uh, with regards to the expenses that you don't have solid receipts for to attach to the purchase invoices, just hold on to that idea, and we'll catch those up when Salifu comes on board in Smiley.
Okay.
And then with
Okay.
regards to the sales invoices, all of the sales invoices need to be done for any in-kind donations.
Okay.
So if 50 test kits or 500 test kits were donated to Project 75, then we need to have that as a sales invoice.
Okay.
And so let me know if you need something for that. But we need those sales invoices done before I can export the map data.
All right. I will do that after the lecture today.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
Does that wrap up
Okay.
everything, or we have more?
Just a couple, let's see.
I have to step out for just a minute.
That's fine. So you will continue to look at that payment for the media reporting from the recent medical event Salam.
Yes.
Other action item, Kevin will continue to update the map update in the website, or Ben proceeding with drafting the Wikipedia page, utilizing upcoming news story as a citation. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Anything else, Salam?
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay. How about you, Ben?
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay, well, excellent. Thank you guys for this meeting and your knowledge and your feedback, especially with Salifu. I appreciate the openness and candidness when he's come and spoken with you, Salam. So I appreciate that immensely.
Thank you.
You guys have a great rest of your evening, and we will see you on Sunday.
All right. Have a
All
good
right.
day.
Thank
Day.
you.
Bye.
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 That's okay.